Hi everyone, it's Claire here from Cafe LA Beaver Castle. We're in lockdown, so we're at home at the moment, and we thought we would share with you one of the recipes that is a favourite at Cafe LA Beaver Castle. And Mark has been telling you a lot about the coffee that we make and the history of the coffee, so we thought now was the time to share this recipe with you. And during lockdown 1 we shared the peanut butter and banana oat bake and the pear and almond cake recipes with you, and they are on our Facebook page. You'd have to go back through a little bit, get back to March, and you'll find those in there, March, April time. But yeah, like I say, today is the day at Orange Square. So we've shared this recipe with quite a few of you over the summer, that's why we've chosen it. Now the recipe we shared, we did tell you at the time, it was the original recipe that came from Mark's stepmom Jane, and we shared that one mainly because although we've tweaked the recipe, we'd actually only ever got it written down on a piece of paper in the cafe, never typed it up. It's typed up now, ready to go back in our recipe book for when we reopen, and therefore we can share it with you as well. So over to the recipe. In the cafe, I don't really bake this one. It's not one of my favourite recipes to make. Probably because it needs so many pots and pans, although you don't need all of these. This is just to show you the ingredients that we've got here, and so that I'm not weighing them out in front of you. We've got 200 grams of stoned dates. You don't need the best quality dates, don't go after the Medjool dates or anything like that. Just your standard packet of dates in the supermarket will be absolutely fine. And then I've just cut those up slightly, partly because they're going to be easier to cook off, partly just to check that they have got all the stones out. 250 grams of stork. You can use butter if you prefer. This recipe we think works really well with stork. Soft brown sugar, light brown sugar, porridge oats, and both of those are also 250 grams. And then 150 grams of self-raising flour. We are going to show you in a few moments the typed up recipe in here as well that you'll be able to pause on. Now this self-raising flour here, replace it with plain flour if you like. You don't need the raising agent for this recipe. We like it though, we think it just gives it a different, slightly fluffier texture, but if you want it to be a slightly more dense slice, then just use plain flour. Right, so we're going to start by our dates. Oh, I didn't talk about the orange juice either. So this is the juice of an orange, and then some water to make it up to 125 ml. You can just use pure orange juice if you prefer. In the cafe we use the juice of an orange and a little bit of orange essence as well, just to give it a slightly stronger punch. Haven't got any at home, so we're just doing orange juice here. And again, yeah, as we say, we're at home, and that means not all of this kit is kind of the stuff we'd use in the cafe. We'd use a microwave to melt these things, for example, but we don't have one at home, so.
So you're heating the dates with the orange juice there?
Absolutely. So dates and orange juice in one pan. Quite an intense heat, kind of on this ring we've got choice of 1 to 12. I'm going to go at about a 10, and then on the margarine we're just going to do that on a kind of an 8, and we're just going to get that to melt. So this is going to take a couple of moments. Neither needs stirring too much, but they are going to obviously be a bit quicker that way.
And what are you looking for with the dates here, Claire?
So the dates, you know, I must admit, last time I made this, I didn't think this was ever going to happen. But what they're going to do is they're just going to come to a really squidgy paste. So you can see at the moment that you've got, you know, your dates are definitely little lumps, quite solid within your juice. They're just going to break right down into a real gooey mix, which is going to be perfect for the middle of this cake. And I know I shouldn't be using a metal spoon in this pan, but yeah, we don't have a lot of stuff at home. Typically, anything that was suitable, we've stolen from the cafe. Okay, so that's taken a good few minutes, but we're really getting somewhere now. So you can see what I mean, it's just slowly absorbed and the dates have squished right down, and we've now got a lovely kind of paste, quite gloopy, that's going to be absolutely lovely when it cools down within those oats. Okay, so that's that done. Right, so dry ingredients in a bowl. Ideally one a bit bigger than this. I am a little bit worried I'm going to be able to do it in this, but we smashed the bowl at the cafe, so my mixing bowl went up there. So all the dry ingredients in together.
So remind us, Claire, we've got those oats there.
Oats, self-raising flour and soft brown sugar.
Okay.
Yeah, and as I suspected, this is going to be a bit tight in this bowl, so what I'm going to do, here's one I got ready earlier. I'm going to give these a good mix all in here. And this is kind of like what I like about baking. It's fun. You know, don't put yourself under pressure at home. Yeah, if you want to start making technical stuff, that's absolutely great. But actually, I just think baking is about enjoying it. So like here, I'm not afraid of just like taking a bit of this out and mixing it separately. It's not going to ruin it. You know, it's perfect. If you're making something really technical, you might not get away with that. But we don't all have access to a huge range of baking kits, so you just have to work with what you've got sometimes. So I'm going to estimate that's about 2/3 and 1/3, so then I'm going to do the same with the stalk. So this is melted through. This has actually been sat on the side for a couple of minutes after it finished, but you can see it's still perfect. So very roughly 2/3 and 1/3. And then the recipe says a fork. I didn't get one of those out, so I'll just use the spoon. Right, I think we're about there. So, yeah, there you go, ready to bake. We are now going to stick that in the oven at 170 degrees for 30 minutes. Okay, so our timer has just gone off, so we're going to get the cake out of the oven. And what you can see is it's just starting to brown up a little bit. It will be a bit soft to the touch at the moment, which is absolutely fine. And yeah, looking good. So we're going to leave that now for a 1/4 of an hour. It just needs time to cool down, and leave it in the tin. Otherwise, if you try and take it out the tin at the moment, it's just going to fall apart. Okay, well, we said 15 minutes. We've actually ended up leaving it nearer 40 just to let it cool down, because we got distracted by a couple of jobs. So we're back, and this is our dough and orange slice. So all I'm going to do now is take a knife. Shouldn't be stuck, but just in case it is, especially around the corners. This is why my tins are so battered at home, and it's probably going to fall apart a bit, hopefully not. Let's see. 3, 2, 1, top plug, and it's out. Yeah, so you can see it's kept its shape. Didn't grease that bit of the parchment very well. Just gently tease it away from the parchment. And like I say, in the cafe, we slice this into 9 portions. So you get a really nice, very approximately that big a slice. I think that one has Mark's name on it. And at home, we'd probably do a little bit smaller than that. So probably to about there. But it's your call. You choose what size you want to eat it at.
Let's go for the close up. Yeah, looks beautiful. I think we'll put the kettle on and give it a whirl.
Absolutely. Slice 1. Ready for Mark.
Thanks, Claire.